I'm so excited for that one. Ah. It is a light. This is my favorite shade in the palette. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Natasha Denona Pastel Palette. I'm so excited about this palette. You guys have no idea. If you know me, you know I love color and I love pastels, and it's almost spring and I'm excited even though I love the cold. So I'm kind of like meh about spring, but I'm also like just excited to play with colors. So I always look forward to Natasha Denona, like really colorful palettes. I did pre-order this on whatever the pre-order date was, like that day, and it got to me yesterday actually, and today's Monday. I think I'm gonna try to get this video up tomorrow, not today. It's just not gonna happen today, I don't think. But I'm going to be swatching these in depth and just kind of talking about the formula because there is a new formula. And I'm so excited. And there's only one existing shade, which also makes me really excited because when Natasha releases palettes, I always question whether she's re-releasing some shades, and it's kind of like meh. And she's released some palettes with a lot of existing shades, and it's kind of like shh. So I'm excited we get almost a full palette of new shades, and I just love the whole vibes of pastel. So I'm going to be doing 3 looks with this palette as well, and just kind of telling you my overall thoughts. I will also do comparisons to the Circle Loco and any other palette that I have in my collection at the end, and I'm really excited. So if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe, and let's get into it. So this is the packaging. I'm really excited about this gradient effect. I love the, I don't know, it's like a matte kind of packaging. Sometimes her packaging is more, what's the word I'm looking for, like mirror effect. Like the actual palette itself is matte, so I really like that. And I love the gradient from pink to like a lilac to like this beautiful situation that I had my nails. Did not do this on purpose. I just wanted spring nails and I got them done and I love them and they match and it's so pretty and I'm so excited about it. But anyway, here is the palette if you haven't seen it yet. There are 15 shades in this palette and it is the midi size. It's $65. It actually officially launches on the 15th. It is made in Italy and it does have the holes in the back so you can pop them out and rearrange the palette, or even I know people that rearrange like all their palettes, and I don't have the heart to do that. I feel like Natasha's like such an artist and she like actually curates this palette in a specific way, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. Honestly, I can see why some people would get overwhelmed when they look at this because it's a lot of color, it's a lot of randomness throughout the palette, but I'm excited. Like when I look at this, my creative juices get flowing. Like I'm really excited to play with this. I'm really excited to see what I come up with, and it's just so exciting. So in her description of this palette, it says travel beyond traditional pastels with Natasha's stunning selection of deliciously creamy springtime shades. From playful pinks and yellows to delicate purples and blues, the pastel palette is bursting with lush, inspiring color. Along with her signature cream powder mattes, sparkling metallics, and duochromes, the pastel palette also introduces an innovative new formula of vibrant, translucent multi-chrome that can be worn alone or as an illuminating top coat. I'm so excited for that one. Ah. I'm sorry if my excitement is a little strange, but I just love makeup so much, so it just makes me so happy to play with makeup. By the way, the suggested shelf life is 24 months. I am going to be doing some swatches, some live swatches. I'm going to be talking about how I feel when I swatch them, like what they remind me of, and like their formula as well. First, we have Tulle, which is a matte bubblegum pink. This is a cream powder matte. It feels very wet, and this is one, oh, I have to take my watch off, I'm sorry. This is one that she did mention is more of a wet formula, and it applies a lot lighter than what you see in the pan. So right there you see that, and you see what's in the pan is a lot darker. So that's just because of the nature of the formula of it. So it's just like a wet kind of feeling, and that's just the way it's gonna be. It feels like mousse-like almost. I do believe the next one is the new multi-chrome. Actually on her website it's labeled as a dual-chrome sheer pink peach, and that's the next shade, Illusion. But I think that is the multi-chrome. So this is what I would call, what she called it in the description, a vibrant translucent multi-chrome. That is freaking gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of the Kaleido Space Age Prophecy highlighter, but like a little bit more with a white base. So oh my goodness, I'm gonna play with that one for damn sure. Then we have Mint Frost, which is a sparkling metallic icy turquoise. This is one of my favorite colors of all time. Just like look at that. That is so freaking pretty. Aura, which is a cream to powder matte medium lilac. So this one also feels kind of mousse-like, and it's definitely, it swatches almost the same. Like it's a little bit better than this one in terms of like true to color of what you see in the pan is what you get when you swatch it. It does feel a little less mousse-like though. Then we have Dainty, which is a duochrome sparkling pink with golden champagne. There's a lot of duochromes in this palette. I'm really excited about it. I'm all about that duochrome, multi-chrome life. That is super pretty. Oh my gosh, look at that shift. It is really pretty. I like it. Okay, I like it, Picasso.
Okay, I like it, Picasso.
I've been on TikTok too much lately. Okay, then we have Brisk, which is a creamy matte pastel pink. What? A creamy matte pastel mint. Jeez. What is wrong with me? That is gorgeous. I love mint shades too. Goodness gracious. There's so many colors I want to use. That's why I do 3 looks, because I want to try to use every single shade in the palette. We'll see how that goes. Then we have Adriatic, which is a duochrome bright turquoise and gold. I was going to say that super weirdly. Turquoise and gold. I do have to say I like Mint Frost a lot more, and I think Mint Frost is more of like a turquoise to me than this one. I feel like I could have done without one of these or the other. Probably this one. I like the sparkling metallic formula more than this one. This one just feels like a cute little shimmer, but it's not like intense, you know what I mean? So far, I feel like there's a lot of pink and mint. Starlit is a coral pink with golden peach. It's a duochrome. That's really pretty. We have Bellini, which is a creamy matte pastel peach. I feel like that could be a really good transition shade. Then we've got Bubble, which is a matte pastel cornflower. It's a cream to powder matte. It feels super creamy. And that is, again, another one that is a little bit lighter when you swatch it than it is in the pan, but it's not too bad. It's very, very creamy, mousse-like. Not as moussey as this one, though. This one's like it's almost like a different formula. I'm not even gonna lie. Then we've got Limoncello, which is a metallic icy pastel yellow. Ooh, that is a metallic. Look at that. I love a good pastel yellow. Oh my gosh. I do feel like I still like the sparkling metallics a lot more. It feels a lot more intense. This one just feels almost like a shimmer and not like a metallic. Then we've got Duet, which is a duochrome lilac teal. Lilac teal? It is a lilac. This is my favorite shade in the palette. I am freaking obsessed. I love it and I want to marry this shade. All right. Airy is a creamy matte pastel sky blue. Ooh, I love a good sky blue. I forgot to mention that Mint Frost is the repeat from Tropic palette. I actually don't own Tropic. I own Mini Tropic though. Okay, then we have Zest, which is a cream to powder matte pastel lime. I love a good lime shade. Oh my gosh. That one is true to color. Thank God. It is so freaking pigmented and stunning and very smooth, buttery. I love it. And then Feather is a creamy matte pastel lavender pink. Oops, kind of swatched that a little too close, girl. I love it. That one's so, so pretty. So here are all the swatches. I have to say, across the board, the formula is very, very nice. Like, there's only a couple that I'm like, I could do without this shade because it's very similar to this shade. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're going to create our first look. So when I do these 3 looks one palette, I like to make the first look a little bit more wearable because I know not a lot of people are going to be like crazy, but I feel like if you buy this palette, you're already crazy. Like you already want to wear these crazy shades, right? I always prime my lids with concealer and a little bit of my P. Louise base. Using pastels, you're definitely gonna want something with a little bit of pigment. Like I would say the Urban Decay primer potion or whatever it's called is not a good idea to use with pastels. I don't think it does very much. I think you want a lighter base so that your colors can really, really pop. So I'm gonna start with the shade Bellini and I'm gonna take that on a What's Up Beauty R103 brush. I'm gonna take that all over the crease. That's gonna be my transition shade. There's a little bit of fallout with this shade. Ooh, it's a little more pigmented than I imagined. I'm gonna take that all over the crease and a little bit on the outer corner. I love her creamy mattes because I think they're so like creamy. That was so stupid, but you know what I mean? Like they're very, very easy to apply. They blend out so easily. Like it's just like super easy to create a look. I think it's gonna be a really good look for those of you that might be a little intimidated by this palette. Like you're looking at this and you feel a little overwhelmed. I'm here to make it a little bit less overwhelming for you guys. Hopefully you guys can create like some really fun looks with this. So I'm gonna go in with Tulle now. This is a cream to powder. I discover cream to powder, like Natasha's cream to powder formula, is something you have to build up, especially with a shade like this. Yeah, this is not going to create as much depth as I would like. So I'm gonna have to go in with Bora. You know what? This one would have been good to like, yeah, scratch that. Let's go in with Bora because I feel like this one's going to give a little bit more depth and that's what we kind of want. Again, with the cream to powder, it's something you have to build up. They're a little bit harder to like for them to show up even to begin with. These colors together are very, very pretty. I feel like pastels are kind of a little hard to build on each other because especially with a palette like this where the color story is a little bit crazy. I kind of like these together. This cream to powder is interesting because it's like actually like flaking away from the pan. Like I have particles that got down here somehow. It's an interesting formula. I don't love it and I don't hate it. There's some cream to powders that are better than others in some other palettes, so it's just something you kind of have to like play around with and figure out what works best for you. I'm gonna go in with the What's Up Beauty R106 brush, and I'm gonna take Limoncello. I think that this could be cute, right? I haven't decided if I want to add something else. I haven't sprayed my brush either. By the way, goat hair brushes are the way to go to pick up these kinds of shades. Okay, I do feel like maybe this is a shade more suited for the inner corner, so I'm just gonna start adding that. So yeah, I'll just put it like on the first like third of my lid and then the inner corner. And then maybe I'll go in with Duet, which I was so looking forward to using. Just gonna kind of make it a little bit monochromatic. And I don't really like the vibes of a monochromatic look. I guess we're gonna have to do it. You forced my hand, Natasha. I love this shade so much. I feel like this is more of like a shimmer. It's kind of a little lackluster. I wish there were more sparkling metallics. This shade reminds me a lot of Utopian Dream, Pat McGrath, except way less intense. So if that's just like a little too intense for you and you want something a little more toned down, this palette might be for you. On the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go in with Bubble. Bubble is like the blue. You can totally use the same shades you used in the crease if you want to, but I feel like I want to do something a little different. This shade is gorgeous and it's true to color and it's a gorgeous pastel blue for sure. This is really pretty. Just gonna take a little bit more of Limoncello. It kind of faded a little bit when I did my concealer. Okay, so this is the final first look. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's a fun, like, little basic look. If you came here for monochromatic looks, you're just not gonna get that from me. I don't prefer them. So all these looks are gonna be like a little bit of a random mess of colors. I just want to play with as many shades in the palette as I can. This lash is playing me like always, but I really like the way this turned out. So far, the shades are really, really nice. They are pastels, so they're gonna be a little more muted just because of the nature of pastels. But I'm really, really excited to see what else I come up with. So let's get into look number 2. Okay, for this next look, I think I'm gonna start off with this shade Zest. I really want to go in with this shade. Ooh, it's a cream to powder, so it's a little trickier to work. Look at how vibrant that is, guys. I am obsessed. I'm gonna put that in the inner part of my crease. I think I'm gonna do like maybe a couple of colors in the crease because I really want to experiment with, I don't know, I just like I like a random assortment of colors, I guess. I forgot to change my shirt. I was supposed to fake like it was a new day and I didn't do that. I'm gonna go in with Airy. I think those will look so pretty together. This is a sky blue. It's a normal creamy matte, not cream to powder. I'm gonna do that on the rest of my crease and the outer corner and just kind of I love these shades together. I was a little worried for a second, but I think they work. This is a very pigmented sky blue. I'm getting a little fallout, so just be aware of that. Definitely the creamy mattes have a lot more fallout than the cream to powder mattes. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, on the lid, oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to take Mint Frost? I'm going to start with Mint Frost, exactly where I put it with my finger. Ooh, this headache is coming on strong. That sucks. I don't want a headache. There is a bird that will not shut up, so I am so sorry if you hear that. Should I take a little bit of Limoncello or is that like overkill and I already did that? Ugh, YOLO, let's do it again. It's a little too monochromatic for my liking, but it's okay. Let's keep it with the blue-green. Let's go in with Bubble first, really close to the lower lash line. I already did that in the last look, huh? But it's okay. We are here to experiment. I'm gonna go in with Airy, kind of blend it out. Zest. I'm taking, that's too fluffy. Okay, that's not gonna work. And of course, I'm gonna take Illusion in the inner corner. I feel like this is a great inner corner shade, but it'll be even better as a like topper with a different shade. Cause it's just kind of like, there's no glitter particles, there's no shimmer. I mean, it's kind of shimmery, it's like a sheen, but it's still like a gorgeous little multi-chrome type look. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so this is the final second look. My lash is just super playing me today. It's been a few hours and my makeup still looks good. Like my eyeshadow looks amazing. It still looks pretty vibrant. I'm really, really happy with how this look turned out. I love the vibes of this. I'm really excited to play more with this palette. I'm gonna do so tomorrow though, because it got a little later than I wanted it to be. So far I'm loving everything. Let's get into look number 3. For this third look, what do I want to do? I'm gonna start with Feather in the inner part of my crease. Feather's this like lilac shade. It's gorgeous, very pretty pastel. Let's see how I can build this up. I'm gonna take Brisk. I'm gonna start over here. That's a pretty combo, isn't it? I don't know. I was a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, how do I make this work? It's gonna be the most vomit colors. What? This is gonna be the most vomit assortment of colors ever. Super true pastel though, I think. It's super pretty. This shade might be my favorite in the palette. I just realized I didn't really use Tulle. Should have done it like in the inner part. Just kind of swirl it in there. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay. That way it's like a gradient pink, purple, blue. Feels so springy in this look. It is so gorgeous. So I'm gonna take Starlit and put that all over the lid. Kind of a random shade. I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't doing this for review purposes, if I was just creating a look to create a look, probably would have taken a different shade on the lid, because it's kind of too dark and it doesn't really match. Okay, it's a bit random, but we're gonna roll with it. I actually just took a little bit of Starlit. I keep calling it Scarlet. It's Starlit on a fluffy brush and just kind of blending that into the crease. On the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with Adriatic because that's the only one I haven't done, and I feel like this is a great lower lash line shade because it's like a shimmer, kind of like lackluster. It's like kind of boring, so I think it's like perfect. Like you'll see like that sheen, but it almost looks like Brisk on the lower lash line, but like Brisk with the sheen. I just totally stamped my face with that shade, so that's lovely. Love that for me. I wonder if I would have switched Starlit and Adriatic, if that would have looked a little bit better. I didn't realize Adriatic was this light. It does come across a lot lighter when you apply it than it does on the pan. And then in the inner corner, I'm going to take Dainty, and that's the last shade, and I've used every single shade. I'm so proud of myself, guys. This is a gorgeous inner corner shade because it's like, it's a shimmer. I think it's labeled as a metallic. Either way, it's like light enough that it looks good in the inner corner. Like, I don't like to take things that are too dark in the inner corner, you know? I mean, I kind of like this. It's kind of like different. I got to play with a lot of colors in this look. Oh my gosh. It's not for everybody, I know. Honestly, I might actually like wear this out. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so this is the third and final look. I have to say, I'm impressed with this palette. I think it's the perfect pastel palette. I know a lot of people are complaining about the lack of pigmentation, but honestly, pick up any pastel palette and you will get the same exact thing. This is just better quality. Like the shimmers are pretty intense. The metallics, at least the shimmering metallics, are my favorite formula. There's 1, 2. These are so pretty. They sparkle. They're sparkling metallic. Sparkle. I know how to speak. I know words. Okay. I really enjoyed this look. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a like vomit of colors just to try every single shade. I officially tried every shade in the palette, and I have to say I am impressed with everything. There was not a single shade that let me down. Maybe Tulle was just like a little bit of a shocker, even though I did know, because I did a lot of research on this palette before I played with it. Natasha did say that it does come across much lighter when you swatch it than it looks in the pan, so she already did warn us about that, but it was still kind of a little bit of a shocker. We're gonna do some comparisons now. We're obviously going to compare to Circo Loco. My one complaint about Circo Loco, well, my 2 complaints, is the fact that it's a huge ass palette for $129, okay? So I wish it was a smaller price point, but my other complaint was that there weren't enough light shades to really have like any sort of transition type shades, and now we can use these together. They're they're going to be great companion palettes, and I cannot wait to use them together, so I'm going to be doing that. We're going to start doing some comparisons though to see if you really absolutely need this palette. If you already have the Circo Loco, you may not think you need it. I would say just by looking at them, they're obviously completely different. This is the brighter version, obviously, of the pastel palette, but I do think that there are some similarities. For example, Fun to Mime right here, cream to powder formula, by the way, very similar to Airy. Like, look at that. So I'm gonna swatch here so you guys can see almost no difference. And obviously Brisk is also kind of similar, and Brisk is even in the same palette. That is a gorgeous, I think it's my favorite shade, honestly. So they're very similar. Then we've got Cotton Candy, which is this pastel pink. We're going to compare that to, first of all, Tulle, because Tulle is very comes across as lighter, as we've discussed several times throughout this video. And then Feather, also kind of similar. I would say it's more similar to Feather, but Feather has more of a lilac undertone. So again, not that similar. Yeah, they're not that similar. I'm gonna talk about Bora real quick. Here, it's more of a purple. So we'll compare that to Magic in the Circle logo. Very, very different. As you can see, yeah, they're different. You got Snow Cone. We're gonna compare that to, oh my gosh, I love that shade. Look how pretty. I do feel like I like the formula of Circle Loco a little bit more. Like, they're really intense metallics. These are like, they can be like Mint Frost is very intense. Just, oh my god, look at how similar they are. Yes, it has more of a mint undertone. Oh my god, these shimmers are freaking intense. For the sake of it, do Razzle Dazzle. Oh, I love that one too. I just feel like there's more metallics in this, whereas this one is not, they're not all intense metallics. We'll do Starlit. Dainty is definitely different. And so is Duet. Duet looks a lot like Utopian Dream from Pat McGrath, that Blitz Astral shade. But yeah, see, they're totally different. Totally different. But there you go. You have some comparisons here. Again, I knew this from the beginning. They're just going to be really nice companion palettes. So I think if you really love color and you love experimenting with makeup and you want to play with a bunch of fun colors, then definitely Pastel is for you. But if you already have Circle Loco and you feel like you don't use it as often as you do, and you probably won't get a lot of use out of the more muted shades in the pastel, then it's probably not for you. We're also going to talk about Trio Chrome real quick. This is a palette I have not actually used. I bought it when it was on sale a few months ago and I haven't gotten around to trying it out, but we're still going to talk about it. I do want to take my time and actually play with this palette, but I'll swatch it for the sake of this review, okay? We're going to do Ion and Vert, and we're going to swatch that against Zest, which I don't think they're that similar. As you guys can see, not that similar, but great to pair together. I would say Zest is a lot more lime. We've got like a lot of very similar purple shades in the middle of this palette. So we've got, oh no, my earring fell. Naga, Manganese, Redox, Tungsten, all four of those, and we're gonna swatch them. Okay, let me just leave that earring off. We're gonna swatch them now like this. Okay, I made a boo-boo. I am not this big of a mess, I promise.
It's a mess, big mess.
Okay, and then we're gonna swatch them against Feather from this palette, Bora, Tool. That's pretty much it. Those are the only three like purple tone mattes. Yep, I would say Bora and Naga are very similar. No, Feather, sorry, Feather. Very, very similar. Let's swatch Diatonic and compare that to Bellini, though I think Bellini is going to be a lot more peach and light. Yeah, so exactly what I thought. My arm is a mess, but I really wanted to do this. What else? I don't really think there's that much else. But anyway, those are my thoughts on like how the similarities in these. There's not many. I think there's more similarities in Circle Loco versus Pastel, but even then they're just good companion palettes. Yes, I also wanted to compare it to Mini Tropic. Mint Frost is actually a shade in here, so I do want to kind of like feel the difference and if there's a difference in hue or anything like that. Oh my god, they actually do look a little different. I feel like Mint Frost from the Mini Tropic is more like blue versus this new one is more mint. Is it just my eyes that are doing that? I'm not sure. We've got this shade on the end, this lilac shade. It is Xena. Yeah, and we're gonna compare that to Feather, Bora, Tool, all the similar shades. They're all different. Those are not very similar. These are different. Again, I feel like they can be used together. Overall, what it comes down to is your preference, your color preference. If you like pastels, it's quite pricey. If you're gonna use these shades, highly recommend it. I think quality is there. I think that there's just a way to go about applying pastels. Lots of fun. Another great palette from Natasha Denona. I'm very happy with this. Let me know what you guys think. Which look was your favorite of mine? Are you gonna pick this up? Have you picked this up? I will have it linked down below. If you choose to shop through my links, I would greatly appreciate it. I will make a little bit of a commission. And yeah, okay, that completes this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Anyway, oh, by the way, this is Hello. Okay, stop making so much noise. Jesus. A little intense here. Let me get a makeup.